In this video, we're going to look at Smart Notebook activities and how you can engage your classroom using them. The activities can be found up here next to responses. It's the one that looks like the little blue alien. Once you select it, you can see you have a lot of choices of activities that are pre-made for you that you can enter right into your Smart Notebook. While many of these activities can be interactive just on their own, some of them will require devices in order to be usable. So as you go down through the list looking at what the options are, you'll see a devices required option right here. That lets you know that this activity won't be of any use to you unless your students have their devices. The first activity we're going to look at is Flip Out. When I select Flip Out, I'm given choices to enter what I want my cards to be, and here I can add an image, or I can search online. Searching online, it's important to know that all of these are Creative Commons licensed, so we can use them without any issues. Select the picture you want and select OK, and then the face down part of the card, I will write car. Let's see about adding one more, maybe a door. Find the door I want, select it, and OK. So now I'm going to put door on the right-hand side here, and you can see at the top I can save any of the activities that I've pre-made, and I can load them in through Manage Content. Here are some activities that I've used previously. Or if I want, I can create new right from this list. On the right is Delete All if I want to start over. After creating what I want on my flashcards, I choose Next, and then I want to choose the background for the activity that my students are going to participate in. This can be custom by selecting this option right here, or any number of pre-made activities. I'm going to choose Jungle and Finish. Now that I've chosen Jungle, you can see my activity shows up here, and when I select my card, it flips over to whatever I told it to be. On the right-hand side here, you do still have an option to make this interactive. At the top, you can edit or reset the activity and turn volume on and off. If I select the screen on the right-hand side, this is my interactivity piece. It'll pull up my classroom and I can start the activity for my students. The star on the right-hand side are game elements. Here I have buzzers, randomizers, or even timers. If I choose randomizer, I can choose what in the activity I want to be random. I can even create a student list to put in here to draw their names. Or maybe I've numbered my students. So I'll create how many students I have and choose Done. Now when I select the hat, their numbers or names will come out. Then I pick again and I know who to call on. On the right-hand side, there's an edit option. Below the randomizer is a timer. When I select this, I can give my students a notification of how long they have to complete this activity. When I select the settings option to the right, I can choose the time, and I can even choose whether or not I end this activity when the timer is done. That gives my students a specific amount of time to count down to complete whatever activity I have them working on. Another useful activity is fill in the blank. So if I clear this page and come up to activities right here again, my little blue alien, when I select that, I just choose fill in the blank and it begins to create my activity. My students can check their answers when they do this activity, either when they're prompted to, instantly, or I can have an option for them not to check. At the bottom, I enter text and define what blanks I want my students interacting with. With edit text selected, I can put in a prompt or a paragraph that I want my students to know. Here is a text that I would like my students to work through. Now, at the bottom, I want to move over to Define Blanks, and I choose the words that I want to disappear from my student prompt. I'm going to choose Students, Text, and Work. When I select Next, I'm given an option of what I want my activity to look like. I'm going to choose Simple. Now you can see that I've created my simple fill in the blank, and my student answers are at the bottom here. Here is a text that I would like my work to students through. Now I'm going to check my answers. When I check answers, you can see that I have 1 correct and 2 incorrect. So this gives students immediate feedback. Again, on the right-hand side, simply select the screen and start. Let's look at another popular activity called Game Show. Select Activities and move to Game Show. Now I choose either multiple choice or true false for the type of question I want answered. We'll start with multiple choice. Here is where I'm going to enter my question, and I have my choices for answers at the bottom, or I could choose a picture. To add an image, I select the picture icon, and here I can either select an image from my computer, or I can search one online. Again, these are all free use, so I don't have to worry about copyrights. Choose the image I want, put it right in my question. Now below that, I have all of the options to enter my answers. I'll have correct, wrong, and never. And on the left-hand side, I choose the correct answer that I want my students to know. Then I add another question. For the sake of time, let's say that this completes my activity. Now I want to come up here to the top right, and I have a save icon. Save your activity and give it a name. This will allow you to pull it up later without having to recreate everything over and over again. It's pretty easy to put things into your smart notebooks once they've already been created. I'm going to delete all content, and let's just start from a pre-made activity. I choose Load and select one of the activities I've already made. I'm going to choose Starry Night A and choose Load. Now you can see all of the questions and answers that I've previously made, and I can randomize them or not. I'm going to select Finish, and that's it. I've created my game show. Now when I select Start, the game show just works. I like to separate my students into teams so that they can play against each other. The question is, what makes the sun appear to rise in the east and set in the west? And students select the answer. Let's see how quickly I can insert an activity into my Smart Notebook. If I clear this page, I'm going to select Activity, and let's try the Monster Quiz. This is a devices required, so it won't do me any good if my students don't have their Chromebooks with them. I'm going to preload a quiz that I've already made, and I'm going to give them 20 seconds to complete each question. I can randomize the questions or not, and then I select Finish. Done. Let's try a bit of a singular review. I'm going to try label reveal. I select the picture that I want to upload here, either from my computer or I can search. I'm going to search picture of a tree and choose this one. Selecting OK, you can see that the tree is now part of my activity. So all I have to do now is put in the area that I want students to label. I select how I want them to see it and click on the picture to enter a box. Here I enter the text that I want the label to be. This is going to be a branch. Down here, we're going to put another one, which is a trunk, and it's not in the right place, so I can grab it and move it. That helps my students identify it a little bit better. Let's add one more over here. This will be a leaf or leaves. Good. Now that I have my labels, I choose Finish, and the activity begins. This is what my students will see, and again, on the right-hand side, I can see which students I have. I can start their activity, or I can remind them how to log in. If I close that out, maybe I want to add a timer or a randomizer, but when students select the questions, they are prompted with the label. This is a great way to help them study. Maybe have them create one.